over 15 South African election observers currently in Caracas have condemned allegations of fraud in the electoral processes in Venezuela. Now, Nicolas Maduro has been declared the winner, much to the disappointment and disapproval of the opposition. Obed Bapela is the deputy chairperson of the subcommittee on International Relations of the ANC, and he is there among some of the election observers there who are talking about, of course, how they found the processes, the monitoring of the processes. And I do understand Mr. Bapela is joining us now and able to hear us. Thank you so much for your time. As the observers, one reads the statement and you say that claims of fraud are simply not true. Why?
Well, we had a team that arrived earlier to observe generally the campaigning, in particularly the various rallies that they've been in the area, led by Comrade Petro, the GS of COSATU, and the Deputy Secretary of the South African Communist Party, Comrade Madala Masuku. So by the time I joined them, we did engage on the sense of the direction, the issues that were in social media, what have they seen, and they've never seen anything. And myself, having arrived here on Sunday, yesterday, we went to the poll stations, and there was not a single incident that we observed, save for obviously those that are captured in social media in some sections, isolated incidences of people who had went to the voting station to go and disrupt, wearing ballot lovers, to try to disrupt the elections that were as smooth late in the evening. And the police are not seen there, the army is not seen in those. And then these people were armed with guns, and there were injuries and some deaths that are reported, but it was never an intention by government to disrupt these elections.
Did they say those people who were wearing the balaclavas, and as you say, were interrupting there and with guns and stuff, were they able to be detected as to where they were coming from and who might they be affiliated to?
Roma has it that it is opposition members or criminals that might have been used by some to go and really give a dent on the elections. And the investigations are still going on, because we did check with government to say, do they know what was the purpose? But also there's been a general social media mobilization towards rejections of the elections, and then an allegation that President Maduro, if he loses the elections, he will plunge the country into bloodbath. He had gone out on record that should he lose, he will definitely accept the results. And we wanted that to happen with the opposition parties, but none of the opposition parties came forward to say they will also accept the results. So we are now there where Maduro has won the elections with a 51.20%.
I'm sure you've seen some of the opposition members, for example, suggesting that there were people who were preventing them from attending the counts, among other issues, and others are saying, like Edmundo Gonzalez, for example, he's claiming that they've won in every single state. So are you saying there's no credence to some of these claims that they're making?
There's no claim on elements, but let me explain the process that we've seen. A voter will arrive at the station with an ID, they scan the ID, then they also have a machine for fingerprints that indicates that this is the correct voter with the correct ID. And once it's confirmed, the voter goes to the booth and then electronically vote. And he gets a slip from that machine that says, you have now voted, and he folds the slip and then put it in a box. So there's two processes of the electronic version plus the slip that they can then begin to verify and count and ensure that. And immediately after, then you go and put your finger in the book where the ink is put on your finger. You press the finger, and then you are able then to also sign. Your signature is there. So all voters that went there, they were verified in a simple process that take a minute. Within a minute, then we are done. And therefore, we are of the view, therefore, that any other comments that are there, they must really be backed up by evidence. So that if there's any evidence of such, Let those who say so say so. But the process is transparent, and Jimmy Carter Foundation has also gone on record to say the systems in Venezuela are the best system in the world. And we hope countries and ourselves, the IEC observers are also part of the observer missions. They will really take lessons on how to improve our own systems in South Africa and then take it there. And we also welcome the remarks by Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the USA, to say, well, let's leave Venezuela's, whatever are the outcomes, let's support and then really not create a situation that will be difficult to control later.
She says that, but when you read Reuters, for example, the US, through its Secretary of State, saying that the results don't reflect the will of the people, and Washington is concerned.
Well, we have seen those remarks, but they were not here. Remember, they came earlier and then decided to withdraw together with other missions in the EU, in North America, saying these elections are fraudulent, even before elections took place. So they are speaking about a situation where themselves are not on the ground, they are not here. They have an agenda of just discrediting these elections, and they were not physically here. They might be having sources, but those sources have not given the correct information in as far as we are concerned.
So you say that you're hoping that the IEC learns from this particular process and is able to tighten some of our processes. What is the one thing you think the IEC should be learning? And
well, the electronic version, which is both electronic and physical. You go in the machine, you then say, here are the candidates. You press on your own in the voting booth, you press the machine, and then it gives you a slip. Like when you go to an ATM to withdraw the money, you get the slip. So that slip then indicates who you have voted for. And then you fold the slip and you put it in a box. When the counting then happens, it's both electronic but also physical in terms of the slips in the box. And you can tell you the two are going well. So it's both manual and electronic vote. And I think we need that in South Africa. It's the quickest, simple processes. Fingerprints also are included so that we do not have ghosts or machines or whatever the case that be. That votes is a physical person who will even put a fingerprint on. I think that process could then be looked at, which is being praised by the foundation of Jimmy Carter also, to say this is one of the best. And then I think even the United Nations at some point in the previous elections, they said that system is the best. And if countries can learn from it, it will be one of the best way to do.
All right, let me thank you so much for your time. And of course, we'll continue to monitor this story there as, of course, lots being said about the developments there in Venezuela.